I'll come on to you because we clogged up the street.
All right, thanks.
So he can balance himself.
He's kicking around a little bit still, so I'm just going to sit on him.
Yeah.
Throw up right there, okay? Don't throw up on me, though.
We got fire.
Keep messing around.
I think we're okay for here. I appreciate it. Thanks.
Watch your...
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, I knew you were busy. Just one other thing, we did have an officer get...
Yeah, that's...
On the evening of August 24, 2019, in Aurora, Colorado, a young man named Elijah McClain was walking home from a convenience store. He had just bought iced tea for his brother. He wasn't committing a crime. He wasn't armed. He was simply wearing a ski mask, something he often did due to his anemia and sensitivity to cold. Elijah was 23 years old. He was a massage therapist, a pacifist, a vegetarian, a son, a friend, a human being. And that night, Elijah McClain never made it home. A 911 call had been made. The caller described a man wearing a mask, waving his arms, and acting sketchy. But they were clear: no weapons, no threats, no crime. When Aurora police officers Nathan Woodyard, Jason Rosenblatt, and Randy Rodema arrived, they confronted Elijah within seconds. He had earbuds in. He was startled. He kept walking. What followed was a violent takedown. Elijah was placed in a carotid chokehold, a restraint technique that cuts off blood to the brain by compressing the arteries in the neck. He was thrown to the ground, handcuffed and restrained. He said he couldn't breathe. He said he was an introvert. He said he was sorry. "I'm just different, that's all. That's all I was doing. I'm so sorry. I have no gun. I don't do that stuff. I don't do any fighting. Why are you attacking me?" Legal expert Elijah McClain was never suspected of committing a crime. He wasn't aggressive. He wasn't resisting in a way that justified what happened. This is a case where fear, implicit bias, and excessive force turned a routine stop into a fatal incident. But the story doesn't end there. After several minutes of physical restraint, Aurora paramedics arrived. Without properly assessing Elijah's condition, they administered 500 milligrams of ketamine, a powerful sedative. A dose intended for someone far heavier than Elijah's 140-pound frame. Minutes later, his heart stopped in the ambulance. He was resuscitated but declared brain dead days later. Elijah McClain was taken off life support on August 30, 2019. Shanine McClain: "They didn't see a young man. They saw a threat. They treated my son like he was disposable. But Elijah mattered. He was a light in this world." In the weeks following Elijah's death, there was little public attention. No charges were filed. The officers were cleared by the district attorney. Aurora's police chief defended their actions. But Elijah's name would not be forgotten. In 2020, after the killing of George Floyd sparked a global uprising for racial justice, the world finally turned its eyes to Elijah McClain. His final words, his innocence, his pain, all became symbols of a system broken by racism, lack of accountability, and the overuse of force, especially against Black and neurodivergent individuals. The public demanded answers, demanded change. In June 2020, Colorado Governor Jared Polis appointed a special prosecutor to reopen the investigation. The case was no longer closed. By September 2021, a grand jury indicted 3 police officers and 2 paramedics. Charges included manslaughter, criminally negligent, homicide, and assault. This was a major shift, especially against paramedics who had previously operated under near immunity when following police direction. Civil rights attorney, Elijah didn't have to die. The sedative wasn't necessary. The chokehold wasn't necessary. He needed help, not violence. What happened to him should never happen to anyone. The legal journey stretched years. In 2023, Officer Randy Rodema and paramedic Peter Sedative were found guilty. Rodema was convicted of criminally negligent homicide and assault. Sedative was convicted of reckless manslaughter and assault for administering ketamine. Without medical justification, Officer Nathan Woodyard, the one who first put Elijah in a chokehold, was acquitted. Officer Jason Rosenblatt was also acquitted. The trials were emotional, painful, but they brought a rare glimpse of justice in a system where so many families never see accountability. Elijah McClain was not a statistic. He was a kind soul who used music to calm animals, who gave free massages to his mother, who loved life, even if it made him anxious, who danced when he walked, because the world, to him, was worth celebrating, even when it wasn't kind. His legacy is now a catalyst for reform. Following his death, Colorado enacted sweeping police reforms. Chokeholds were banned. Ketamine used during arrests was restricted. Body camera requirements were expanded. Elijah's name now lives in policy, in protest songs, in murals and memorials, and in the hearts of millions who refuse to let him be forgotten. Justice for Elijah McClain is more than court rulings or headlines. It's about demanding a world where compassion replaces fear, where police protect instead of harm, where walking home shouldn't be a death sentence. It's about remembering the gentle young man who said, "I'm just different." Different didn't mean dangerous. Different meant beautiful. Justice for Elijah McClain, 1996 to 2019. Say his name. Remember his story. Demand better.